Well, hi there, it's Daniel here, and this video is about getting top tips for success at AS and A-level chemistry. First of all, why do you need top tips for success? Isn't it obvious? You just go to your classes, listen to the teacher, write the notes, do the homework. Don't know, you'll get yourself a good grade. Perhaps that might have worked for you at GCSE, but A-level chemistry is hard. A-level chemistry is a tough subject. Looking at national statistics, the hardest A-level of all is A-level further maths. Then it is the science subjects, biology, chemistry, physics. And I say that based on the idea of progression from GCSE. So if you've got a certain set of grades at GCSE, what are you expected to get at A-level? And if you look at the different subjects, the subjects which you're expected to do worst in would be further maths, hence it's the hardest, and then it's the sciences. So anybody tells you doing A-level chemistry is going to be just as hard as doing any other subject, well, that's not true. It's a hard subject, and perhaps a sort of anecdotal piece of evidence for that is, why do you think you need A-level chemistry to study medicine? Part of that is I'm sure that the information you learn in A-level chemistry is useful, but part of that is because I believe medical schools, and I've certainly heard this from medical admissions tutors, medical schools see A-level chemistry as an intelligence test. If you can get an A grade or an A-star grade in A-level chemistry, then you have the kind of brain that perhaps is suitable to study medicine. So, how do you do it? How do you get a top grade in A-level AS chemistry? Well, first of all, if you're considering this subject, you're doing your GCSEs, you really want to get an A. You want to get an A in chemistry or an additional science, or better, if you're going to take this subject at A-level. If you're getting, say, a B or a C, and your school is saying, yes, take the subject, you will probably fail. How do I know? Well, I've been teaching the subject for 14 years at a very, very good school. Because I've seen the national statistics, people taking the subject who don't have an A or A-star grade at GCSE do very, very badly. And it's a tiny number who manage to succeed, but it is a few percent. So, do well at GCSE, first thing. So you've done well at GCSE. You've got an A grade, you've got an A-star grade in chemistry or additional science. You're choosing chemistry, so how do you succeed? First of all, you've got to work hard. That's probably not popular, but it's true. It's how you succeed in anything in life, is to work hard. Now you might think, well, okay, I realise that I know I need to work hard. I worked hard at GCSE. You've got to work a lot harder than that. You've got to work hard in the sense of doing all that's asked of you in the classroom and with your homework and doing it to the best of your ability. But over and above that, if you really want to succeed, you've got to be doing more. You've got to be doing more in the sense of you've got to have an independent approach. So if something is covered in class and you sort of understand it and you sort of think, okay, I roughly know how that works, I can kind of see how that goes on, but I can't really remember what we learned 2 weeks ago. I can't really remember that, but I know if I look at my notes, I'll be all right. You've got to do better than that. It's not good enough. You've got to be really, really on top of it. So if you've been taught it before, you should know it. And if you don't know it, you've got to sort it out. And sort it out yourself without being asked. You've got to sort it out. So how do you do that? You've got to put time in. You've got to put in more time into A-level chemistry than you've put into any of your subjects before. A lot more time. You need to be putting in a chunk of time every week, over and above whatever you're asked to do. Time where you direct your own learning. You're doing your own questions, you're reading back through your notes. You really should, really must read back through your notes. Your notes need to be organised. They need to be systematic. You need to be able to find things in them. I would strongly recommend that in addition to your notes, you are reading back through your notes, but also reading the same content in a suitable textbook, and getting a second run through of the same ideas. You should be supplementing your notes with your own notes from your wider reading. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, doesn't it? You should be seeking help. When you've realised you've come across a concept that you don't really know how it works, you can't really do the questions on it consistently, correctly, you need to be brave and you need to get help. Whether that's help through badgering your teacher in a lunch break, before school or after school, or whether that is seeking help through the internet or wider resources, reading, or through whatever. But you need to get help. If you're stuck and you can't fix it, you need to get help. It's a good idea to work closely with other people in your class, people especially who are motivated and want to do well, and perhaps who are doing well with their chemistry. You can get together every so often and just proactively work at this subject. Form a chemistry group, a chemistry club. You know, like they do in the American movies where the students get together in the library and work at stuff, and all the sports jocks laugh at them because they're all geeky. You need to be geeky to be successful at A-level chemistry. And if you're not prepared to do that, you're probably not the right person for this subject. So, you're going to work hard, you're going to be independent-minded, you're going to be organised, you're going to know your notes, you're going to seek help. I would recommend you download a copy of the course specification from your exam board. They're huge documents, 100 pages or so, but there's a key part in it, 15 or so pages, where it runs through line by line exactly what you need to know. Download it, perhaps copy it into a spreadsheet, have a column next to it or several columns next to it so you can tick it off when you've covered it, tick it off when you've revised it, put a score 1, 2, 3 on how well you know it, so that you're systematically tracking your progress through the course. So be proactive. Next, and finally, and possibly along with working hard and putting the time in, the next key thing that I have found over the years has brought great success to my students that I've taught, the ones who've done really, really well, have all done this, and that is they have done a large number of past papers. They have done many, many years worth of papers, building up through the course, and then especially coming into the exam time, they've done papers every week. They've gone through them, they've gone through the mark schemes, they've marked their own work, or they've had their teachers mark their work, but they've been incredibly diligent at going through past papers. So that's my top tips for success. Good luck to you, and I hope this video has been helpful and others will follow it. It's worth it. Chemistry is a great subject, but only if you're succeeding. Thanks.